So if you clicked on this video, you're most likely interested in the Peloton bike. Well, I want to provide you a complete breakdown and my thoughts of this bike so you can determine if this is something that's worth purchasing. And as a personal trainer who's taught spin classes for years, I'll give you my thoughts on this and if I would recommend it for my own clients. This is not an affiliated video, so if you guys do find value in this video, hit that like button. And if you're interested in weekly fitness content, I produce something new every single week, so hit subscribe. So let's jump right in. To make this review a little bit easier, we're gonna break it down into 4 separate parts. The first part being build quality. Following that up with part number 2, which is gonna be user interface. Part number 3 is gonna be the general experience using this bike. And number 4 is gonna be the pros and cons. And at the end of these categories, I wanna talk about the pricing and how much this will cost you if you decide to buy it. So first off, let's look at the build quality. So when it comes to build quality, I've used a lot of different spin bikes, and you don't really notice this bike much, which is a good thing. You want a consistent, smooth ride. Now all the dials work very well. There's a speaker system on the back of the actual LED screen, and there's volume adjustments, if this will focus. There we go. There's volume adjustments right on the side, so it's easy to turn up and down, and it gets pretty loud. It's a pretty aesthetically pleasing bike, I'd have to say. One of the biggest problems with spin bikes is the resistance dial. When you use it frequently, it can change the resistance over time. It gets warped, it needs to be replaced. This is really cool how this works. Right through here is the flywheel, and we have a magnetic system in place here that increases the intensity, which is super cool. You won't find yourself having to replace cushions or dampers to slow down the flywheel. The overall build quality is great. The only thing I feel like could be improved slightly are the cup holders and the weight holders. They feel like a cheap plastic. Yeah, so it can't all be perfect. User interface. The system is very simple to use. I'm not gonna get too far into how setting up the classes are going to work. If you want a how-to video, there's plenty of them on YouTube. I will say this is basically replacing your personal trainers. There's classes of HIIT classes, you can do ab classes, you can do full spin classes. I did 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I got to mess around with a few different durations, and it projects all of your data right on screen. If you're riding and you're competing against other people, even if it's not a live class and it's pre-recorded, you can go in and see where you rank amongst the other riders. You can check how that compares against your old scores. It's simple, it's easy to use, it's not overly complicated. Someone that's older that's not good with technology might struggle a little bit, so if you buy this as a gift, you might have to set it up for them. Now the general experience was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was kind of gimmicky. Being able to compete against other people around the world, I wasn't sure if it was gonna be something I like. I got to race 1v1 against another person around my same age from Chicago. I'm in Buffalo, New York. It was awesome. He ended up beating me, but it was still a lot of fun. I got to take pictures of how I did. I was able to send them to my friend, have him then try that same race later, and we got to compare our scores. This can definitely keep you motivated, but it's not a substitution for motivation. If you're not interested in exercising, it's not gonna magically make you want to, but it is a good way if you're a competitive person to stay competitive. Now, pros and cons, probably one of the more interesting parts. I'm just gonna list my 3 favorite pros. Number 1 is you're basically getting fit, you're working on your fitness. That's obviously an essential component of staying healthy. Number 2 is the sense of community. I discussed earlier how I would race against a friend. That was a lot of fun. The teachers throughout the classes will actually motivate and they'll mention who's in the rides, if they're on their 500th ride, their 100th ride, and they're constantly giving shout outs, which definitely makes me want to push to get to that 100th ride, that 200th ride. So you're incentivized and it's a great sense of community. And the third pro, it makes getting fit fun. It's no secret when it comes to cardio, at least for myself, it's not that exciting. At least this is a good way to dress cardio up, make it seem more exciting than it actually is. But now to the cons. So the first con is gonna be cost. This isn't needed to get fit or stay healthy. You can buy a cheap spin bike and use that, and it's just as effective. Obviously, it's not the same thing, and a cheap spin bike doesn't come with all those pros that I discussed. In con number 2, I'm gonna generalize and just say locations. So I found that the resistance location might not be the best for me. I found myself hitting it with my knees a couple times, maybe because I'm still new to this and getting used to it being right there. And then I would say the weight location, there's small weights on the back side of the bike here, and when I step off the bike, I like to bring my leg around the backside, and I found myself hitting the plastic part that the weights sit in. Another thing that maybe I'll just have to try to avoid doing. My third and final con is that I don't think this is for everyone. If you're someone that's maybe in your 50s or 60s and you've never exercised before, it might not be the best place to start. Maybe join a gym for a couple months, get yourself motivated, get yourself in shape, and then jump into something like this. I think it can be very discouraging if you jump into a class and find out you're in the bottom 99 percentile. When I jumped into my first class, I thought I was gonna be, top 5%, and it turned out I was top 40%. And I'm pretty much middle of the pack and average, which was kind of discouraging, but it can motivate you if you're the right type of person. So now let's take a quick look at the prices. Now there's two different versions here on what you can purchase. So this is the Bike Basics. I'm gonna show you the cheapest and the most expensive version, so you can click the website and check everything out. So their cheapest version's right around $1,500, and they allow you to finance these bikes as well, which is pretty cool. And obviously the Bike Basic is just the basic components. So then we can get to the Bike Family, which is around $2,600. Now this obviously comes with a lot more. You get the shoes, you get water bottles, you get weights, you get a mat for the bike, you get a mat for the exercises on the ground, yoga block, yoga strap, but there's also packages all the way between those two price ranges. There is one other option. If you already have a spin bike, you can try this cheaper alternative where you purchase just the Peloton app. At the time of this recording, on Peloton's website, you can actually get 2 months for free. Now, the app is normally $12.99 per month plus tax. So if that's something you're interested in to try out before you actually purchase something like this, that's always an option too. But other than that, I think we pretty much covered everything. Like I said, if you guys found value in this video, hit that like button. And if you want more fitness content, hit subscribe, check out the channel, check out some of the other videos I have on my page, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.